Hello, Facebook group. Hello, members of the Love Frequency Collective. It's Friday again. I can't believe it. every Friday I'm like, it's Friday again? It's Friday again? It's Friday again? Like, can you believe it's May? Seriously. I mean, like the end of May. Where has the year gone? I don't know. If you know, let me know, because I don't know where this year is going. It is such a beautiful day here in Toronto. I think it's 26 or 28. I haven't looked, but it's freaking gorgeous. I hope there is nothing but sunshine wherever you are. But because it's so beautiful, it's a little toasty in my apartment. I live pretty high up, like above the horizon, so I haven't put in my air conditioner yet. It's a little toasty in here. So today's lesson is going to be short but sweet, because not only am I already really hot sitting here, I have the window open, but it's really hot. It's just too beautiful not to be outside. So even though today's lesson will be short but sweet, it is still mighty. It is still powerful. And kind of keeping along with the theme from last week with practical tips, let's actually just review my favorite one from last week. Let's do it together right now in case anyone missed last week's lesson. I did mention I would be, talking about these techniques again. So I kind of want to do this on myself today, right now, with you, because I haven't done it yet. And it's not that I don't feel good. I already feel great. But I want to make sure I keep feeling great. So I'm going to quickly go over, I think it was number 4 in last week's video, and it was called the cortices. C-O-R-T-I-C-E-S, the cortices. And it's based off a technique called body talk. Now in the video, I also go into a little bit more about what body talk is. I'm not going to repeat myself today, but I will just go over what we're actually doing here. So basically, you have 3 brains. Your brain is not just in your head. You also have a brain in your heart, and you also have a brain in your gut. And even though we have this body of flesh and bone, we are not just a vibrational being, we are also an electrical being. And so this cortices technique I'm about to show you just gets these electrical impulses to start talking to each other again. All the 3 brains in our bodies to start talking to each other again and just kind of work in harmony. So we're going to start by putting our left hand at the base of your skull. All 4 fingers lay flat across the base of your skull, and with your other hand, you're just gonna tap on the head a few times. Make sure you're tapping on both sides of the head. You're gonna tap on the heart a few times, on the sternum, and then you're gonna tap on the belly button or right above the belly button, very lightly with the tips of your fingers. Honestly, it feels so good. So now we're going to move the hand up, exactly 1 hand up to your almost just under the crown of your skull. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap on the belly button. And now you're going to move the hand up to the crown. I'm going to push my bun up a little bit to get the crown. And your whole palms, fingers, and everything is laying on the back of your head. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Belly button. Top of the head. Now, if there's enough room, you tap at the back. And the belly button. Down over your forehead, and I'll tell you in a second why we keep moving our hand. So we want to keep placing our hands, which also have electricity running through them, all around the brain. So we still have two parts, the sides of the brain here. So just put both hands, just lay them on each side of your brain. It's not your mind, right? You can't point to your mind. Your mind is not your brain. Just take a few deep breaths here and then continue with the tapping. Other hand. And then I just like to cover my eyes. So today I just want to talk about some important things relating to what this group is all about, which is raising your love frequency. Raising that vibration, your vibration. If it's anything lower than love, it's not love anymore, right? There was a scale I went through that went from 0 to 1,000. Love vibrates at 500 hertz. It's in the middle of a 1 to 1,000 scale. A 0 to 1,000 scale, love is 500. Below love is reason at 400. But things like courage is only 200. And anything below 200, which is where most people are vibrating at, their default state is mostly below 200, are the things like shame, like that's really low, that's like 20 on the scale. Shame, grief, fear, apathy, anger, jealousy, worry. Anything that is stressing or not life promoting is below 200. So if courage is at 200 and love is at 500, what can we do to raise our vibration, our frequency from these lower, dark, dense, heavy vibrations to courage? And I have some exercises for you coming up. But then from courage, there's still a way to go. From 200 to 500, there's still 300 difference. And what I will bring up and remind you of, if you didn't catch that two-part masterclass, is that every time you raise this level, it's not just 2 + 2 = 4. You're not just doubly more powerful. It rises logarithmically, exponentially. So 2 + 2 is not just 4 in this case. If you go from 200 to love, which is 500, it's not just more than double as powerful. It is 10 times more powerful. And the reason it's so important for us to raise our love frequency, especially right now, is because love is the opposite of fear. It's not hate. It's fear. Love is the opposite of fear, my dears. So as we're moving through these very dark, heavy, stressful times, nothing is more important than returning to love, returning to the intelligence of your heart. And truth and love are intertwined. There can be no love without truth. There can be no truth without love. Let that sink in for a moment. And I don't know who needs to hear this today, but fear is never the truth. Fear is always the loudest voice, whether it's coming from your own head or the box over there. Fear is never the truth. Fear is always the loudest voice, but it's never the truth. I could go on, but I won't. Let's keep it about the love vibration. So, after over a year of this isolation, this great pause, this shutdown of the world, okay, I hope you'll agree that us humans are social beings. And let's just get something very clear here for a second. There is no such thing as social distancing. That is an oxymoron. You cannot be social at a distance. It's not possible. It's two opposites. There is no such thing as social distancing, okay? That's just a term they made up for the times that we're in. But the whole idea of being social is that you are close together. So there's no such thing as social distancing, okay? It's an oxymoron. It's like saying a thunderous silence. And I'm only bringing this up because I saw the most heartwarming video that literally brought me to tears yesterday. I saw this girl, and it said somewhere in the south of France. And I don't know when this video was taken. I don't know if it's old or new, but I have seen similar videos before. I've seen other people do this too, but I saw this newest one yesterday. And it's this blindfolded girl somewhere in the south of France in a busy square, market, in the center of the village or town somewhere. She's blindfolded and she has her arms stretched out. And I think she has a sign that says free hugs. Have you seen a video like this before? They've been floating around the internet for years. But seeing this video yesterday brought me 2 tears. Seeing all the people that had the courage to hug her. I was bawling like a little girl, okay? I wasn't just crying, I was crying. Because it was one of the most beautiful things I've seen all year. All these strangers, young, old, single, couples, men, women, of all different ages. And I'm not going to say all different races because we are one human race. Let's get that clear too. There is only one race here. We are all human. So people of all shapes and sizes and colors. Not different races. All different kinds of people had the courage to go and hug her. There was even an elderly lady in a wheelchair. And she's blindfolded. Think about the courage that she has to have to do that. I've seen another video where it was a guy. So let's just pretend that 2020 didn't happen. Let's pretend it's 2019 and you saw someone blindfolded in a park. Would you have the courage to go and hug this person? Would you have the courage to be her? I've thought about doing a video like this. And now that I'm saying it publicly, I might just have to take myself up on that offer and hold myself up to that. But just ask yourself and answer honestly, would you have the courage to go and hug this person? Let's pretend it was 2019, before 2020, before you know what. So I'm not going to tell you to go and hug a stranger right now. Hello, my love. I can see somebody's watching all the way from Europe. So I'm talking about having some courage here, moving forward. I'm talking about bringing back interacting with people. I'm talking about raising our love vibration. So I have a challenge for you, and it can go in a few different degrees. But I think now more than ever, it's important for us to remember what life was like before 2020 and start at the very least, smiling at strangers again. Okay? If you're outside, you don't need this. You never did. I could say so much more about that, but I won't. Okay? If you're outside, you don't need this. And it was so beautiful because I was in the park the other day, sitting on a bench, you know, dogs, people walking by, and this puppy, the golden retriever puppy, ran up to me, and the owner came up with it, you know, because it's on the leash, and she talked to me for a little bit. Neither of us had this on, neither of us were afraid, and, you know, we weren't on top of each other, but we were closer than 6 feet. And it was a beautiful, refreshing interaction. We smiled, we laughed, wished each other a good day. And I don't know about you, but I'm like that. I do talk to strangers, you know, people in the elevator or people at the store. So this is my challenge for you today, to help not only raise your love frequency, but to start spreading love like it's confetti. I dare you, I challenge you to smile at a stranger. For women, especially if it's a hot stranger. Just smile. That will take courage. But do you have any idea how good it feels when you smile at a stranger and they smile back at you? It breathes life, because we are all one. We are all one. Our energy is being seen, witnessed, felt, and reciprocated by someone without words, without touch. Our energy is being felt, seen, witnessed, and reciprocated. This is what we need to bring back. If you want to go the extra mile, I wrote down here, compliment a stranger. Okay? If you feel brave, if you feel enough courage, compliment a stranger. Tell them, hey, I love your hair, I love your dress, I love your shoes. Whether it's a woman or a guy, people love getting compliments. Like, who doesn't? You might even make that person's day. It's the littlest things that can help turn somebody's horrible day around. Remind people that there is still goodness in the world. Remind us of our humanity, because that's what the love frequency is really about. This is about all of us together loving one another. But you can't love someone if you don't love yourself. In the famous words of RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? So guess what? Loving people smile at strangers. Confident people smile at strangers and talk to strangers and give them compliments. And love is what makes the world go round, okay? Fear makes it shut down and stop. Love is how we get over this. Remembering our humanity, our connectedness. Remembering that we are all one human race living on this island called Earth. We're all here together. And my last tip and challenge for you today, if it's too much, if you are too shy, if you don't feel the courage, and some days I do it more than others, okay? I don't smile at every single stranger and talk to every single stranger. But I am open to that interaction should it happen. Sometimes I instigate it, sometimes someone else, because I'm walking down the street with a smile on my face and a skip in my step. Some people see it in me and they instigate. And it feels wonderful. Like, when is the last time you talked to a stranger? When is the last time you smiled at a stranger? They are your brothers and sisters. There is only one of us here. And so when it comes to yourself, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. When it comes to yourself, I have two things to ask you. There's an old quote or meme floating around on Facebook where in the olden times, a shaman or a healer, when you went to them for healing, what the first thing they would ask you was, And the first thing they would ask you was, my darling, when did you stop singing? And when did you stop dancing? I try to sing and dance every day. I just set up my balcony, like, amazingly. It's a 10-year dream come true. I dance out there every day. I sing. I don't care if the neighbors hear me. I keep my love vibration up by singing and dancing, and so can you. Maybe for you it's playing an instrument. Maybe for you it's painting. Maybe you want to make something with your hands. Maybe you make jewelry. Maybe you work on a car, you know. Maybe you work on your motorcycle. Maybe you like baking and cooking. We as humans need creative outlets of any kind. So I ask you now, my darling, when did you stop singing and when did you stop dancing? That's how I know I'm happy. That's how I know I'm on the right track. That's how I know I'm doing good, is when I'm singing and dancing around my apartment. So my last little challenge for you, to spread the love confetti, spread love like it's confetti, smile at a stranger, compliment a stranger, talk to a stranger. Let's start spreading this love again and talking to each other again. Remembering our humanness and our connectedness. But it all starts with you. So I dare you to sing, dance, play, write a poem, draw a paint a painting. But especially to all the women out there, and men too. I want you to blow yourself a kiss in the next mirror you see yourself in. Or every time you go to the bathroom, you come out, wash your hands, blow yourself a kiss. I don't care if you feel silly. It feels good. You are acknowledging yourself. You are loving yourself. And when you do it in the mirror, you are witnessing yourself. You can blow yourself a kiss in the mirror, or you can wink at yourself in the mirror. And don't just do it once. I want you to start doing this every day. Blow yourself a kiss. Let me know in the comments if you're going to do any one of these. Update me once you have done one of these, if it made a difference in your energy, what kind of impact it had on your day. But like I said, today I'm keeping it short and sweet because I am going to get out there and enjoy those rays. And if you do nothing else, just get outside, okay? The simplest way for you to raise your love frequency and connect to this big, beautiful planet that you're on is get outside. For the love of anything, everything that's good on this planet, get outside and connect with nature. Go tree bathing, put your feet in the soil, take off your shoes. I wish I could get by water. I mean, I can, but it's Lake Ontario. I mean an ocean. So that's it for today, my loves. Thank you for joining me all the way from Europe. I know I have a pretty worldwide small group of people here. And yeah, may you raise your love frequency and see it reciprocated to you in unexpected ways, today and always. From my heart to yours, ciao for now.